Welcome back to the SCIF. This is the Green Beret Life. I am Matt. That is Stu. We got a full show for you tonight, although we're going to try to be very, very punctual and end this thing in an hour. So, Stu, why don't you hit us with what we got on tap tonight?
Well, as seems to be the theme of, I don't know, the past month is fraud, waste, and abuse. It's everywhere. We were talking when everything first came out about Minnesota. We said on the show, it's like, well, if Minnesota,
Stu, now we've gone over this. If you're going to pronounce the name of the state, you've got to pronounce it correctly. Minnesota. Okay, go ahead.
But if we thought the fraud in Minnesota was bad, then California was going to be 10 times. Mm-hmm. And it's starting to come out now. There's several different things. Matt and I talked, Matt was here last week. I believe last week or the week before, we brought up some of the Medicaid fraud in California.
Correct.
And more details on that are coming out. There's fraud out of California using what they call the lifeline. When you look at your phone bill for your cell phone or your house phone and you see that surcharge that you're paying for that's coming directly out of your phone bill, this is the fraud associated with that. Mm-hmm. We're going to look at that, how California has allowed that to take place. Let's see. We've got a poll that was taken concerning ICE and kind of how people are feeling about ICE and everything, and it pretty much calls out what we've known, that the media and the left are nothing but a bunch of liars, and social media does nothing but amplify the minority. It's exactly what this poll is telling us about how people feel about ICE, what's going on, what they want from the government and ICE and immigration as a whole. It's exactly what we thought. It's, as Matt said, however much you hate the media, you're not hating them enough. And this is exactly why. Because if all you've done for the past 6 weeks is, catch your drive-by, CNN report or MSNBC, or catch a PBS advertisement on the radio when you're en route somewhere, you would think that the nation was up in arms about the atrocities ICE is perpetuating upon 5-year-olds and nuns and orphans, but it's not. It's all nothing but crap manufactured. We've got Trump trying to end the temporary amnesty for Haitians, but a Biden judge using a novel approach to insert themselves in a process in which they have no.
Well, they're supposed to send 300,000 back this month. That's what
this is. This judge has put a halt to it, saying that, and of course we'll talk about what's that?
Of course,
So we'll talk about the creative legal gymnastics they're going through to insert themselves in the middle of this, where they have no cause to.
Mm-hmm.
There is this is a good one here. We talk about how do these new Congress people, they come in with nothing, and then in a matter of years they're millionaires.
Yeah, it's amazing. I heard, listen to this. I heard an article today, apparently, that was written about Gavin Newsom, that he's a self-made millionaire.
Oh, is he self-made, huh?
The only job he's ever had is being in public service, where his family in the Gettys set him all up with everything. But he's a self-made millionaire, right? Self-made
man. Mm-hmm. It's that hair, man. You got hair like that, the world's your oyster.
He's self-made on your taxpayer dollars.
Yeah. But no, we've got a story here,
Stu, before you
about Ayanna Pressley.
Before you say that, hold on.
What?
I just want to put this out there real quick before I forget, right? from the very beginning of this show, we said that Epstein may very well still be alive, right? That's all I'm going to say about it right now. There's some evidence that he might be. So,
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So
I've
stay
not seen
tuned for
that
that.
yet.
I just wanted to bring it up, and I didn't want to be rude and interrupt, but I would have forgot it otherwise. So go ahead, Stu.
But no, we've got a story about Ayanna Pressley, who was sworn in 2018, and her just the bountiful blessings that have fallen upon her and her family since then. It's really inspiring. Is what it is.
She's balder than I am, but go ahead.
What's that?
She's balder than I am.
That takes some work.
Yeah.
And then we've got the final two stories that we have here have to do with the teachers unions and their subsidiaries and what's that?
Our favorite organization.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I figured this story and the one with the illegals would be two of your favorite, because I know those are two topics near and dear to your heart.
Well, the teachers unions are only concerned with the education and welfare of your children.
Yes. Yes. The education of the little. Their only concern is the little ones.
That's right. That's right. They're just loving and kind.
And again, I know how Reddit is a cesspool, but it's like a train wreck. I have to keep going back to it.
It is a complete cesspool of shit. But go ahead.
I was reading Julie this. Somehow this teacher's subreddit has shown up in my feed, and I just read it because I find it amusing. Yeah. And there was a person talking about reading and what they do for their class. Well, this one person says, "Well, I don't have a books because I'm in Georgia and they won't let me have anything that's considered divisive." And this other person's like, "Oh, that sounds like, a cesspool." And they're like, another one comes back, "Oh yeah, it's so dystopian. I can't wait until there's new management in charge and all this parental rights garbage gets thrown out the window." And I'm like, wow, you just said the quiet part all out loud, didn't you?
Exactly right. Yeah.
They're just so upset.
They hire radicals for these positions.
Yeah.
These teachers they've taken an honorable profession and they've destroyed it. The modern teacher and teachers, I'm sure there's good people. I don't want to throw everybody under the bus, but these teachers unions are made up, and this is my opinion, of some of the nastiest people you will ever come across. But anyways, we're getting wrapped around the axle on that.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to start out with your California Medicaid fraud story you had brought up?
It's Dr. Oz is highlighting this, and of course every liberal rag out there is jumping his ass because he's highlighting that a lot of this fraud is being perpetrated by Russians and Armenians, but it is now hospice fraud. And we have the article there, Stu. Do we have the part in the article where it shows there's like a 2-mile stretch of road and there's something like 247 hospice offices located within that road. Now they're getting all sorts of government funds, and it's what you've seen in Minnesota expanded to hospice is basically what it is. So here it is, a 2-mile stretch of houses, 82 or 287 hospice agencies, more than the total of 36 states. Okay? Fraud, folks. Absolute fraud. More of your taxpayer money being dumped to crooked criminal organizations, and even countries are involved in some of this stuff. So
this statement right here, Matt. Los Angeles County is the nation's largest county.
Mm-hmm.
It accounts for 18% of all home hospice. One county in one state is almost 20%.
20%, yeah, a quarter, almost a quarter.
Yep.
No.
But I go ahead. I don't mean to interrupt. I apologize.
I wasn't. I was just pointing out that this is just when we said Minnesota is the tip of the iceberg. And by the way, in Minnesota, that $9 billion estimated is now growing. In some camps, they're saying $19 billion, and they're saying it's growing still. Right?
Wow. So it's doubled from what were initial right-wing talking points.
Yes. Yes. So we're going to find something similar in California, but everything is bigger in California just because of I mean, what do they say? California is the 8th largest economy in the world. California.
That's the word on the street.
Right. And it has been woefully mismanaged. It's an absolutely beautiful state. And
I've been a couple of times and it's beautiful, but Jesus.
There are conservatives in that state, but they get no representation. So all of the big coastal cities run that state, and it's a shame. And they're just going to expect us to bail them out one more time, right?
Well, because here's what's going on with this. This is the case in point here. Is there's one specific physician that's under investigation. He's allegedly made $120 million from falsely certifying patients as terminally ill, allowing his affiliated agencies to reap Medicare's substantial per diem payments. Reports indicate that some patients never received care, even as these agencies billed for services. With Medicare costs estimated at $200 to $300 daily for hospice patients, the scale of potential losses runs into the hundreds of millions, if not more. And the story that we talked about the other week was Armenian and Russian mobs running this, either putting pressure on these doctors or having these doctors in league with them to falsely enroll these people. They could take, someone whose mother is older and just say, hey, they just put her information in the system. She may not even know it. And now they're billing this grandmother or Medicare is being billed for her hospice, and she's roaming around doing her thing. No idea that $200 to $300 a day for that person is going straight to this entity that they set up to provide hospice.
Well, listen to this. The approval process for new hospice agencies in California comes under scrutiny as a principal factor contributing to the crisis. A fraud investigator's pointed remark alerting the ease of obtaining a hospice license is telling. I could fill out that in Kazakhstan if I want and get a hospice license waiting for me. Suggests that the systematic loopholes invite exploitation. This lack of oversight raises critical questions about how many fraudulent, holy shit, dude, I'm trying to read it. Fraudulent entities operate under the guise of providing care. Yeah, this is all set up on. They are not this stupid. They are not this stupid. This is, like we said in Minnesota, all set up to be stolen on purpose. There is a quid pro quo. It often has to do around elections and voting. Right?
Yeah, this is not a bug in the system, guys. No. This is a feature.
Correct.
This is intentional.
That's a T-shirt too, Stu. This is not a bug in the system. It's a feature. And then you could put California and Minnesota, just have the outlines of the states.
There you go. And the funny thing is, guys, Matt sent me this story. Well, I skimmed the headline, and I was thinking, I've already got that story of fraud in California. I was wrong. I had another story of fraud in California. And this one was this lifeline fraud, the one that you pay for.
Yeah.
The one that the government has tacked on an extra line item on your cell phone, internet. You look at those, there's a surcharge there. It's a couple of bucks a month on your bill that you're paying for.
Well, remember that thing that Al Gore got forced through years ago? It was called the Universal Connectivity Charge, right?
Yeah.
And so you were paying for that, but it was going to put internet into rural areas, and I don't think they were ever effective in putting internet in rural areas in the first place. So
no.
That was some big ass slush fund, allegedly, right? But you're getting hit on a bunch of this stuff that you just don't pay attention to. You're seeing it as part of your bill. And like, well, everybody pays for that. I'm not even going to dig into it. But I'm interested to hear more about this, Stu.
Yeah, so with this, all right, lifeline providers, meaning the cell companies, received nearly $5 million in federal funds to supply phone and internet services to more than 116,000 deceased individuals.
Oh, that's nice of them.
More than 80% of that fraud occurred in California.
Oh, surprise. That's a surprise. Yeah.
Consumers ultimately pay for the program through surcharges on their monthly phone bills. And this is the part I don't understand. This is the part that where it's not a bug, it's a feature. California, which had been allowed to opt out of the federal eligibility verification system. Why? Why?
Because it's California. It's all Democrat. Yeah.
Accounted for 95,000 of the 116,000 deceased enrollees identified. The audit also found extensive duplicate enrollments with the same individuals claimed multiple times in the same month across different states using identical names, birth dates, and social security numbers.
Well, that right there tells you it's a feature, not a bug, because even the most basic software could find this right off the bat.
Yeah. You can find, I can take Excel and put two lists of numbers in it and find duplicates.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. In November, the FCC revoked California's opt-out status. The crackdown has sparked a political fight with Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom, whose administration accused the FCC of unfairly targeting California.
Is his name
80% of the fraud and saying, hey, you're fucking up is unfair.
Is his name Gavin Newsom or Gavin Dewsom?
It's interchangeable.
Okay. I can't tell when they say it on TV. So
well, I think Dewsham was the original spelling from the old country.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dewsham.
Or Newscom, either one. It's pronounced. It depends on the where you're from is how you pronounce it.
I think it's Dewsham.
Yeah. And this investigator pointed to a California law signed by Newsom last year that eliminated the requirement that Lifeline applicants provide a social security number. Again, these are not bugs. They're literally passing the law to make it easier to defraud.
Yeah, you and your taxpayer money. Boy, oh boy,
it's insane. It is insane. Now, the part that I don't get, or the part that I in my reading I didn't come across it, or I missed it, is who is benefiting from this fraud? Where's the money going, and who is getting? I guarantee you that money, what you think is going for this universal service, whatever the hell that means, is getting. This is basically a laundering type deal for the money, and it's going back to right. My thing is, where's the money ending up?
Yeah,
that's the part I haven't seen here, because I know the Lifeline program and what it's supposed to do, and all this, but who is getting the money from this fraud? Where are these dollars winding up?
That's like I said. Start with the people who put these rules in place and their supporters. That's where you need to start.
Yeah. Unless it is, and this may be it, the non-citizens that are fraudulently, that's where the fraud is going to non-citizens. Yeah. It's not somebody defrauding like the Medicare where an individual is getting that money. It's here's these people that are not eligible for the services getting the services. That's probably where it is.
Answer this, Stu. Why are we not stopping all federal funds to these freaking states doing this shit?
Yeah.
What? I mean, that's common sense. Why are we not doing this?
Well,
turn off the spigot of money.
Yeah. Well, because you know as well as I, and you're right, we absolutely should be. But exactly what would happen as soon as Trump would do it, some Biden judge would step in and say, that's unconstitutional.
And every one of these
because Congress
judges,
is the one that allocates funds, and we're going to impeach you now.
Since the Senate isn't doing its job in dealing with these judges, why isn't the DOJ looking into the background of any one of these crooked judges that does this? Now, I may have answered my own question why they're not, but I think some of these judges should probably be investigated. Who has
yeah.
what on them, making them do this stupid shit that follows not one iota of the law?
Yeah, but Matt, we've talked about this, right? Remember, Tiger's going to do Tiger shit. You don't have to train them. You don't have to tell them what.
Yeah.
They're going to do what they do, and that's exactly what's happened. You've got these Biden judges that were put in place simply because what they believed, what their political motives were,
Yeah.
and they're executing on those. That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, they're just doing Tiger shit. Yeah,
they're in a position where they're basically untouchable.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna buy that. They are touchable, but the Senate won't do their job on it right now. Right now, we need to put the pressure on the Senate. I'm going off to the side. The Senate needs to get their act together to make sure that this SAVE Act gets pushed through. John Thune is up there and like, I don't know if we should make them actually speak for their filibusters. Maybe we should bring that back, but there could be some negative ramifications. There's no question. First of all, get rid of the frickin' filibuster, because the Democrats are going to, and push this SAVE Act through and make sure it's in place for the 2026 elections here coming up.
Well, my favorite thing is anytime the Republicans will do anything, everybody's like, well, what's going to happen when the Democrats are back in charge? They can do the same thing. Yeah. They're going to take whatever you do and make it look like freaking
child's
any bullshit, because
they're going
the way the Democrats run things.
Puerto Rico a state. That's what they're going to do. They're going to stack the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
That's what
they've been talking about, stacking the Supreme Court, on Trump's first term.
Yeah.
If you don't think they would try it.
Yeah, that is exactly.
Hell yeah, they would.
But the rules of decorum, and that's all bullshit. That's used as an excuse. We all know why these rhino Republicans do what they do. They do what they do because their masters, U.S. Chamber of Commerce, wants illegal immigration here. Their masters want massive amounts of welfare, your taxpayer money being thrown out there because they're the recipients of it. Their masters are the recipients of all of this shit. So they're going to say the right things in public, but behind closed doors, they're going to be subverting what the public really wants and subverting Donald Trump at every step.
Well, you remember me talking about them saying the quiet part out loud, which you just said about them wanting the labor and everything else. That brings us right to one of the stories where this Biden judge has blocked Trump's cancellation of Haitian immigrants' temporary amnesty. Now, this was put in place. This temporary amnesty was put in place 15 years ago after the hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
So a decade and a half ago, this temporary amnesty went into effect. And now that we're saying, okay, it's time to go home. Oh, no, we can't do that. So we get down here, and of course, it's a Uruguayan-born judge appointed by Biden has invented this novel excuse to block President Trump from terminating the TPS of 350,000. Now, here's the novel approach. Okay, the text of the TPS amnesty law bars judges' intervention in TPS decisions by saying there is no judicial review of any TPS determination. Okay, that's the law.
Mm-hmm.
What this judge has said, but Judge Reyes, an immigrant and Harvard graduate, claims that she is still allowed to review the process of the TPS determination. And she's saying, because what she's reviewing is not the determination, but how they reach that determination.
Yeah, send this to the Supreme Court like pronto and get this overturned right now and get these people out of our country. I mean, long and short of it, are some of them good people? I'm sure. Okay, but you don't have a right to U.S. citizenship. You don't have a right to collect welfare based off of the taxpayers' back who's struggling to get by in the first place.
Here's what she says, Matt.
country. Go fight and save your own country.
She says the word any determination captures all determinations the secretary may make, whether to expand, designate, or terminate, but it does not capture the process by which she reaches that determination. So she's going and saying, oh, well, the way you reached your decision is illegal or unconstitutional. She's decided the administration's process was illegitimate because skilled U.S.-based Haitians do not want to go home because it is governed badly by the left behind Haitians, despite a UN-funded peacekeeping force.
Yeah. Well, they talk about an oxymoron. UN-funded peacekeeping force means U.S.-funded force that's wasting everybody's time and money over there.
Her decision helps cheap labor employers who would otherwise have to hire Americans at higher pay or invest in high-tech machinery to help their existing American workers get more work done in each day. For example, the mayor of Springfield, Ohio, who got a huge inflow of Biden's Haitians, celebrated the decision, saying he randles off some bullshit. But here's the thing that you were talking about, Matt. This lawsuit was backed by FWD.US, which was founded by billionaire investors in 2013 to grow the economy via the inflow of low-wage workers, apartment-sharing renters, and government-funded consumers.
To usurp our country and undermine everything that this country stands for and to screw the American taxpayer. That's what find out the people who are involved with this, right? And then charge them the welfare it costs to support these low-cost workers that they want. These people are destroying our country for their bottom line.
Well, somehow, Matt, and maybe it's because I'm just stupid. You know, because I know Nancy Pelosi has come out and said that welfare drives economic activity.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sorry if.
Well, yes, she's right. It does. It drives it right down the shitter.
You're right. You know what?
Yeah.
She was not specific. Maybe that was what she meant.
Yeah.
But they will legitimately get up there with a straight face and say, if we take this dollar and they completely lose the fact that percentages of that dollar are chipped away at every step because government employees are being paid to collect that dollar. They're being paid to process that dollar. They're being paid to funnel that dollar. They're being paid to hand that dollar back out. You know, everywhere along the line, there's being percentages of that being taken away. But she's still under the fact that welfare, my money that you're taking from me and giving to someone else, is driving economic activity. Well, guess what? If I had that dollar, I would spend it too.
That's not even an American. They're taking your taxpayer dollars and funding third world immigrants. Just think about this. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. This better be overturned. We need to stay on top of this, Stu. We need to talk about this story every week, period.
Yeah, but it's definitely going to be appealed immediately. And when I was reading in here, they were expecting it to be pretty much overturned immediately. Troy says Nancy Pelosi is so crooked she can't make a straight face.
That's exactly right, Troy.
But yeah, I read this and
we have any more comments to get to? We haven't hit any comments. We're after.
No, that's it right now. The comments are on the slower side this evening.
Yeah.
But yeah, this story right here, I couldn't really believe it. I was like, she's legitimately saying, I have no say, no judicial review of your determination, but I'm going to take the reason I believe you arrived at your determination and say that it's illegal.
There needs to be a review board, and there needs to be a law that's saying activism on the judicial bench is a crime, right? And you should have of nonpartisan peers. You should have a board that says, okay, we believe that this person did this via political reasons for activism, right? And there's been a pattern that this person has done this over and over and over again. Bring them before that board and give that board the power to strip them of their judgeship. So we could do so many things to keep these. They should be making the basis of all of their judgments and their rulings based on the rule of law, right? And I know that law is sometimes ambiguous and subjective and all of these things. That's why you give them a review board. So if they're if they're like this Judge Boasberg, right, and consistently getting involved in this activism bullshit and stretching and misrepresenting, do all of these things that just make a mockery of our legal system, they need to go in front of a panel, and the panel should have the authority to decide this individual is not basing their opinions on the Constitution. They're basing their opinions on judicial activism. And we can't have judicial activists in going anyway, left or right. This is not what America is about, period. And
well, it's absolutely what not rulings from the bench and judgments on, legal precedent should be based upon, should not be political.
Mm-hmm.
That's no way to run a country. It's just not.
Blind? Isn't justice blind? Lady Justice with the blindfold on, holding up that shit in her hands, whatever that shit is, scales.
Yeah, the scale.
Yeah. But oh man, the eloquence of what we speak.
Yeah, the eloquency
is amazing.
But the other story with immigrants right here, this one, and the phrase you hear all the time, Matt, is, well, immigrants commit crimes at a lower rate than native-born Americans.
When they're comparing 350 Americans towards 50 million immigrants. Oh yeah, that's
because they don't compare it.
It is so dishonest.
Yes, they do not compare it per capita, like you said.
Yeah,
they compare 300 million to 20 million and say, oh, look. But when you compare it per capita, it is a great.
The proportions are through the roof.
But you know what, Matt? My response, and we'll take for the sake of argument that they're correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we still need to import more crime.
Exactly.
We have enough here with the native-born population. We don't need to add to it. We don't need to exacerbate the problem.
You have to point out because they change definitions.
Yes.
They misrepresent facts, right? They'll manipulate numbers. All of this, they'll straight up lie and then have to readjust. You saw this time and time again during the Biden administration when the financial news came out. It was always pared down several weeks later to what they said because it was a straight up lie.
Yep.
Right. So, yeah, you need to point it out every single time because there's still a whole swath of Americans who don't get it. They don't get it. Whether they've been apoplectic or whether they've been duped. I don't know. But people
willfully ignorant
understand, yes, that you're being lied to and you're being stolen from. Your taxpayer dollars are being stolen from you. Your labor. This is how people don't look at it. 50% in some people's cases of your labor is going to fund some illegal immigrant. Just think about that.
Yeah, because most people just look at, tax season's right around the corner.
Yeah.
And people look at how much of their check goes directly to the government. What they don't look at is, okay, that's how much they take out of your paycheck before you ever even see it. So you're automatically losing 20 to 30% of your paycheck before you ever even get it in your hand.
You should have to write it out. It shouldn't be taken out. You should have to write
every
it
month.
Out every month so you can see what they're taking from you.
So that's just what they're taking from you. Then go to the grocery store. We go to Walmart, look at your receipt. How much of that is taxes? Go to the restaurant. How much is that of taxes? Go fill your vehicle up with gas. How much of that is taxes? Go look at every other bill that you pay. How much of that bill is taxes or fees of some sort?
Yeah. Real estate taxes.
You're probably looking at.
Yeah.
You're probably looking at a good, easily 40%.
I'm more than that for a lot of people, dude. When you have state, federal, and all these additional taxes, it's easily 50%. So in many cases, so 50% of your labor is going to fund bullshit. Now, obviously,
Yep.
not all. Some of it's for defense and this and that and the other thing, but huge chunks of your money is being stolen from you to fund illegals coming here, making up your votes. Why are the Democrats fighting so hard to keep these illegals here? Why?
Well, remember some of the bullshit that was coming out being funded by USAID? That's where your money's going. Sesame Street in Iraq. That's where the money they're taking from you is going.
Where they probably never even showed an episode of Sesame Street. Just so you know, because that money goes somewhere else. How many billions, hundreds of billions, to be spent in Ukraine?
Yeah.
So this is insane. And you know what? Ukrainians don't have a natural right to be here in the United States either. That are not didn't come here the right way, right? Fix your own country. Now, the Obama administration started the destruction of that country back in 2014 and blew the place up, allegedly, right? And the Biden administration sort of finished the job. They sent Kamala over there to really ignite things, right? And it's an absolute scam, and I feel very, very bad for the people of Ukraine, because the deep state has worked you so bad that your male population is almost completely destroyed.
Well, my thing, Matt, is with Ukraine, if they're refugees, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because geography isn't my strong suit, but there's a handful of countries between Ukraine and the U.S., right?
Yep.
And isn't asylum supposed to be the first safe country that you come to? That's why when they have these people out of South Africa showing up in the United States claiming asylum, it's like, well, how did you get here?
No. That was a bad example. The South African people that Trump's given asylum to are the white farmers.
No, I'm not talking about. You're right. That was. I'm not talking about
at their farms.
You're right. I'm not talking about this in particular, but just from these other African countries, from these Middle Eastern countries, from these, Eastern European countries.
These North African, mostly Muslim countries.
How are you winding up here? How did you get here?
Exactly.
Because I can guarantee you didn't. You went through another country. There's another closer country you could have gone to.
Yeah.
But
and why are we bringing? Isn't it funny? Why are we bringing in all of these Muslims, right? When they're persecuting Christians, we're not bringing the Christians in. You're not seeing the Christians being brought in at anywhere near the same numbers as you're bringing in the Muslims. Why? Why do you think that is?
When they started to, you remember the uproar that the media and the talking heads and the usual suspects had about that? Well, now it's racist because they're bringing in the white people that are being persecuted.
But even the black people in Africa, South Sudan is all Christian. It's all Roman Catholic. And the whole Muslim world is fighting against South Sudan, right? And why are we not bringing in South Sudanese Catholics? Instead, we're going to bring in the Muslims that are persecuting Christians all over Africa. That's what we're bringing here, right?
Yep.
Bullshit. We shouldn't be bringing any of them in. We should be bringing the Christians in, right? But if you really want to see who's probably going to assimilate, going to not be on welfare, going to go and get a job or come up with businesses, you'd be surprised at bringing in some Christians from Africa as opposed to Muslims from Africa, what that would do. And I'm not shitting on religions here or anything else. It's just you look at history and look at recent history. So, and look at all of Europe. Look at what's going on. They're importing Muslim men, and look what they're doing to Europe. It's being done on purpose. It's not folly. It's a feature again. What did you say?
Yeah, it's not a bug. It's a feature.
It's a feature. They're there to destroy. They're there as people bombs. That's why they're being here.
I was watching a thing. Oh crap! I can't remember his first name. Constantine is his last name. Mm-hmm. He's on the Trigonometry podcast.
Okay.
He was doing an interview with a panel, and it was some of the British leaders and stuff. Mm-hmm. And he said, when I first came to this country through legal immigration, it was 55,000 people a year were allowed to legally immigrate. Or no, it was, what was it? Shit, I can't remember now. But it was whatever it was that was allowed to legally immigrate.
Great Britain, it was probably 5,500 a year.
Yeah, maybe it was, but the point of the fact was there was a multitude more that were coming in illegally now and being allowed to and being allowed to stay. But the other story we've got goes back to the crime and everything that we started with, and this is out of Tennessee, which is actually their ICE operations going on in Tennessee. You don't hear about it because the government of Tennessee isn't out there riling everybody up and telling them to go out there and fight ICE in the streets. But according to this report, illegal immigrants committed more than 2,000 violent offenses in Tennessee in 2025. A total of 21,000 charges were filed against illegal immigrants among 11,000 cases. There may be more because the county did not submit its, because Bledsoe County did not submit its data in time for report to be filed. Illegal immigrants from 119 different countries were cited in the reports where country of origin was obtainable. The crimes committed: 41 homicides, 1,500 assaults, 145 sexual offenses, 11 child rapes, 40 aggravated kidnappings, almost 3,000 DUIs, over 5,000 cases of driving without a license or suspended or revoked license, almost 1,000 carjackings, 36 felony firearms offenses, and 66 assaults on police or first responders.
You know, in most countries,
guarantee you,
if you get caught doing that, you would be lucky to have your hands broken, right? You would be lucky to just have your hands or arms broken.
Yes.
Here in the United States, we allow you to stay. It's absolutely insane.
No, not even allow you to stay, actively fight.
Yeah.
Trying to get rid of you and then give you more money.
Yeah. And the victims, how many of these were Tennessee citizens? You know, if I was, maybe people need to be able to sue the government. You know that?
You know, when having qualified immunity is necessary to a point.
For maybe law enforcement. That's for law enforcement.
Well, law enforcement and government too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you're willfully disregarding the facts, when you're willfully disregarding the data that is put in front of you and allowing this to happen year after year after year, you become complicit. You're a part of it now.
41 Tennesseans are dead at the hands of illegal immigrants and hundreds raped. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. Why are we allowing this? Why?
The thing is, man, this isn't just Tennessee. Yeah. This isn't just, these are the same people that Renee Good and that other guy were out there getting in altercations and ultimately lost their lives fighting ICE to keep these people in the country.
Daniel Preddy, who,
whatever his name is.
I'm not convinced that guy wasn't looking for suicide by cop, to be honest with you. Why was he?
Another video came out. Did you see the other video of him kicking the car, busting the tail light out of it?
Spitting on it and busting the tail light out of it.
When that video first came out, they were the media and the left trying to say it was AI generated. That wasn't a real video.
No, fake. Yeah, okay.
And it turns out it is. No, that's him. That's your hero.
Why wasn't he arrested then? You know, he was a nurse at the VA up there. I think I've seen that dude because he's unique looking. You know, I spent a lot of time in that VA in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Right? He should have been arrested when he did that. Damaging public property. And he's got a gun. What kind of idiot? Okay. Was this guy really this stupid that he's going and starting shit with federal agents with a loaded firearm on him?
Well, here's this, Matt. Let me tell you my train of thought on this or how I'm looking at it. All right. He was involved with this altercation with ICE like a week or 10 days before the one where he lost his life.
Yeah.
So he's involved in this. is showing his ass, throwing a tantrum like a toddler, kicking and screaming and breaking toys. He gets taken to the ground because supposedly was in fear for his life. All right, that's the clear part. He told someone, "I thought I was going to die."
He had his gun.
His answer to that was someone that he thought was going to kill him. His response to that is to go and get a gun.
No. He had the gun on him in that first arrest. You can very clearly see it. He's carrying the gun in the first arrest.
In the first one, he is where he kicks out the light.
Absolutely.
My apologies. I missed that. Yeah. I didn't see that. That is my bad. He's
carrying the gun in the first arrest. This is why nobody's talking about this, but I'm thinking this guy may have wanted suicide by cop, which is actually quite common, right? Otherwise, there's no way he was this stupid. He wears a gun and goes and gets in physical altercations with law enforcement, and he's some skinny dude. You know what I mean? And
you were looking at the old picture. You didn't see the new and improved picture.
What are you talking about? New and improved picture?
You didn't. You didn't. Where MS Now, the picture that they were putting up of him.
Oh boy, I can't wait to see what they did here.
Oh wow, yeah, I'll find it.
Yeah. So this dude going and starting fights with federal agents while wearing a loaded firearm tells me there might be something else to this. I'm not saying for sure. I have no idea. But does that seem like a rational thing to do?
All right, here you go, Matt. The picture on the left is his real picture.
Okay.
The picture on the right is the one MSNBC was broadcasting.
Oh my Lord. Are you kidding me?
Well, we're going to fix the smile. We're going to darken him up. We're going to make him a little more masculine, square up his jaw, make him a little broader in the shoulders, thicker in the chest, give him some biceps.
Do me a favor and send me that picture. Send that to me. That is, this right here should be illegal as well.
This is blatant manipulation of the facts that they're presenting to the public as they're supposed to be reporting the news, reporting the truth. There's nothing, we just cleaned up the picture. No, you didn't.
No, they even changed his glasses, dude. They even changed the glasses.
They changed the glasses. They gave him a tan. They changed his smile. They widened his jaw.
You have
they thickened his neck, his chest, shoulders.
Grade A dork on the left, and they're trying to make. They even look what they even did to his neck.
Yeah,
right.
Thickened his neck, gave him the Adam's apple. Well, no, I guess that was there. You just can't see it because he's pasty.
Yeah. So, oh man.
Yeah, nobody's got a tan like this in the winter in Minnesota.
No.
Not the picture was taken in the winter, but my point stands.
You have a grade A butt plug on the left and a spark plug on the right, to quote something about Mary. I thought you said she was a spark plug. No, butt plug.
Let me see. Let me take this and send it to you now while I'm thinking about it. But yeah, that's what they did. This must have been last week when you weren't on.
That's
we talked about that.
Amazing.
Yep.
Was that we got to get some of those? You know, that guy is like amazing. You know the one I'm talking about?
Amazing. Oh that yeah. Shoot, I know him.
Amazing.
He's the black guy that just roasts people.
No, he's a white. He's like a British dude. It's a British dude. It's like a GIF that everybody always runs on, and he's like amazing.
The black guy, right?
No, he's a British dude. Yeah.
There's a crap. I can't think of his name. I watch him all the time. He's funny, but he does the same thing too. One of the leftists will say something like completely bonkers. He'll be like, amazing. But let me see. Where were we? This is the one I was wanting to, because this one's right up your alley. When we're talking about how do these people get this money? How do these people make money in office? Here's how they do it, Matt.
Is this the Ayanna Pressley story?
It is. It is.
It sounds like one of those made-for-TV movies. The Ayanna.
It does. So when she came into Congress, in 2018, she had a negative $12,500 net worth.
No, that's negative, dude. Look, she's 13
when she came in 2018, she was negative net worth. She had more debt than she did assets. All right. In 2024, $1,350,000 of net worth and $8 million in assets. Now,
this is criminal, man.
I mean, what's funny, Matt? What's funny? Let me see. Just 3 days before Pressley was sworn into Congress in January 2019, her husband resigned from his $92,000 a year position as a senior public safety advisor and immediately launched his own consulting firm. Harris, who's her husband.
What's the consultant firm? Cochran Harrison Associates?
Conan Harrison Associates.
Okay.
All right. Harris, a convicted felon who served 10 years in prison for drug trafficking, cited the need for professional flexibility to support his wife's career. Yet his income reportedly tripled and more, reaching $350,000 by 2021 and even higher in subsequent years through consulting gigs with nonprofits, businesses, and organizations tied to government initiatives. Would you hazard a guess as to the leanings and the tendencies of those businesses, nonprofits, and government initiatives?
Radically left. Marxist.
I would bet you money.
Yeah. More
so
fraud.
There's the payback, guys. There's where the scratch my back, I'll scratch yours comes into play. She does what they want her to do. He gets consulted with this nonprofit that probably had money funded to it through USAID.
Yeah.
That is the Lion King circle of life right there.
Yep. How's that go? Uma Kitata? What's
Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata. Yeah.
But yeah. So within a few years, they've got, let's see, their disclosures show the couple pulling a significant rental income, which means they have to have the property to rent, up to $350,000 of rental income
Are you kidding
in a
me?
recent year from property sales and rents, including a posh Martha Vineyards home purchased in 2023.
Are you kidding me? This is blatant fraud of the American taxpayer.
Yeah.
I mean, this is insane.
Yep, let's see. Pressley now reports assets valued between $1 million and $8 million, including a luxurious Martha Vineyard rental property worth up to $5 million and multiple Boston rental properties valued up to $1 million each. Now, my question would be,
they just over the course of a handful of years went from negative 13 grand in debt to having all of these retail or these rental properties in places like Martha's Vineyard, where
now what I would be interested to learn, Matt, is how did they purchase these, from whom, and the terms of the purchase?
Mm-hmm.
If there were dealings in the purchasing as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is how it's done. But right here, from 2018 to in 6 years, go from negative $12,500 net worth to over $8 million.
Yeah, negative $12,500.
Negative.
That's insane.
Well, you do that by starting a consulting firm, apparently.
Yeah. And
now my thing is,
working with
he consulting?
Working with NGOs. Yeah, giving speeches and shit. So what's his background in order to give these speeches where he's making?
Well, he's a felon for 10 years for drug trafficking.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then he was a public safety advisor in
Mayor
Boston.
Martin Walsh's Boston City Hall administration. Yeah. So they gave a criminal a $92,500 a year job to be a public safety advisor. And he spent how much time in jail? for drug
10
trafficking.
years.
Yeah.
10 years for drug trafficking.
Interesting.
So he goes from 10 years in drug trafficking to a 92,000.
They ought to make a movie about this guy.
Rags to riches.
There you go.
Bootstraps and stuff.
Yeah. Hair to baldness.
But you're right. He goes from 10 years in prison for drug trafficking to a $92,000 a year public safety advisor to then launching his consulting firm. And again, consulting whom about what?
What's the name of the consulting firm again?
Conan Harris and Associates. Yeah. Here, let's see. What do they consult?
Sounds legit. Here's what they consult: how to commit fraud. There he is.
We empower businesses and organizations to diversify their pipeline of workforce, leadership, and personnel.
Oh, yeah, a bunch of bullshit. Okay.
So all bullshit.
Focuses on impact or impaction?
Probably impacted.
There you go.
Management consulting, strategic planning. We have the expertise and industry experience to provide a variety of customized services to achieve your goals. Okay, that said nothing.
He's got some executive coaching. I mean, he learned that shit in prison.
Yeah. Strategic planning. Our expertise and broad range of services and solutions will strengthen organizations to facilitate change, enhance their brand, and optimize performance and productivity. Garbage.
What a bunch of bullshit.
This is nothing but word salad garbage.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Word salad garbage.
These are nothing but buzzwords. What we do. What do you do?
Oh, okay.
That's who you are. Your thing said what you. Okay, this is the same thing. These three things are the same ones that were on the other page.
They just showed their clients. Workforce development, executive. What in this guy's background, public speaking, gives him any of this? Any of this? Oh, my Lord. Supplier diversity.
Oh, wait. Conan Harris is a well-known and highly acclaimed motivational speaker.
Is that his name, Conan Harris? Is that?
I guess. Well, yeah, Harris was his last name, so yeah.
The only thing on there, okay, coming from prison and all of this shit, look at Obama Foundation.
Oh, look, our clients, Obama Foundation.
Yes.
Here we go. We can do the research right here.
New England Aquarium. Yeah.
Meet Boston. Okay. Yeah. JRI, Leader in Social Justice. These are his clients. Guys, this is where the money's coming from.
Yep.
They're not even hiding it. The Boston Foundation.
This is all a bunch of bullshit.
City of Framingham, Massachusetts.
Oh my Lord.
DSA. It's right here.
This is where the money is all coming from, folks. You're exactly right. Look at how it's all coming in.
Yeah.
Uncornered. Yeah, that's.
Oh, cornhole. What?
It sounds like another social justice. DoorDash.
DoorDash?
Somehow they probably got lucrative contracts or something to operate in the city because they
Coalition for a Resilient and Inclusive Waterfront.
Oh my goodness.
The Possible Zone. Right here.
These are all.
This is hilarious. I had no idea it'd be this easy, Matt.
All of these sound like fronts for something else that probably received most of their funding from places like USAID.
Yeah. I thought this would be like, man, we're gonna have to do some research. We're gonna have to dig in. This is gonna be, some Columbo shit here.
Oh, look at this. No. State Street.
It's
State Street. There we go. Yeah. Another criminal, allegedly.
This is amazing how simple this was. Oh my God. That's
dude. Okay.
That's too much.
I've had enough.
That's too. I mean, out of all, I would say at least half of those off the jump, like I said, those are liberal oriented.
Yeah.
And that's just by knowing the name and who it is. I can guarantee you the other half, you dig into them.
State Street, dude, State Street are primarily the public employees pension fund from states like California, Illinois, radical left, like teachers funds and everything else that have all this money, right? That they can spend on whatever and manipulate out. They're massive. They're up there with BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. Those are we talk about them all the time. So
well, I know you wanted to do this in an hour. I've got,
dude. Yeah, we need to wrap it up.
I've got these are the last two stories that tie together. We can knock them out real quick because these are ones that are going to be fun for you with State Street and everything else, public pensions, the teachers union.
Yeah.
All right. The teachers union is suing to block a tax cut referendum from appearing on the ballot.
How dare you? How dare you cut?
Taxpayers. Rise Up, Massachusetts. That was one of the ones on Homeboy's page.
Yes. Was it Rise Up? Was it on there? There you go.
It was. I mean, it was Rise Up Boston, which I'm sure they're affiliated.
Yeah.
But okay.
Backed by Massachusetts Teachers Association. There we go.
Yeah. They filed a lawsuit last week in which it claimed the ballot measure, which would reduce the state's base income tax rate from 5% to 4%, is unconstitutional.
Oh, how dare you save the taxpayers?
Their argument language on the ballot fails to inform petitioners, signers, and voters that the tax cut would apply to capital gains in addition to wages and interest. And this ballot measure is a response to a separate referendum, one largely pushed by the unions, that raised the state's income tax an additional 4% on those who earn more than $1 million a year.
I mean, just more fraud. Teachers union involved and everything else.
Well, here you go. The NEA has a long history of involving itself in politics. The organization has disclosed more than $25 million in political spending over the past decade, and 99% of its campaign spending has gone to Democrats.
Yeah.
And this is funny right here. The union's intense focus on preventing the people of Massachusetts from voting on a tax cut comes as the groups face mounting criticism over declining test scores in the states. Yeah. Last year, only 42% of students between 3rd and 8th grade met state proficiency standards in math, English, and science.
Way to go.
That number is down from 2019, when about half of all students met proficiency standards.
Yet the cost per student will continue to go up.
That's why they don't want the taxes to be cut, because they'll get less money. But
all right. What's this last story we have?
Well, this one falls right on this one, because this is the top teachers union boss brands Trump a dictator in a call.
Wait. Show a picture of that woman up there.
Right there.
No, boot up that picture. Blow it up if you can. That looks like Hitler's to me. Look at her hands.
Yeah, maybe.
What's she doing?
That looks like a Sig Heil to me.
That, holy smokes. Alert the media. Alert the media.
It looks like it. You know what? You're right.
Oh, my goodness.
So she was on a call calling Trump a dictator during a virtual activist call hosted by the Sunrise Movement. The event, titled Roadmap to Political Revolution, focused on opposing ICE, criticizing Trump, and promoting progressive congressional candidates.
Yeah.
The NEA's Pringle said that NEA's roughly 3 million members and thousands of affiliates would mobilize to advocate, litigate, and elect people who align with the union's political priorities. She accused the Trump administration of scapegoating immigrants. Don't need to bring back up the page we just had on Tennessee.
Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? Everything is about immigrants. That's because they need the immigrants to win elections, to cancel your votes, folks. That's it.
Well, they've already
That's what it's
said.
all about. And these freaking people, the money needs to follow the child. If money needs to follow the child, and you can send your kid to any school you want, schools that perform. So now you look at schools and say, this one, 90% are graduating with proficiencies of their age category, as opposed to 10% are graduating with proficiencies according to their age category. And then you'll break the back of these unions. And this is what they're really afraid of. They need the illegals here to keep the Democrats in power, to keep them in power, to keep your kids from getting horrible education and indoctrination, right? And to keep these teachers making more and more money of your taxpayer dollars. It's all a vicious cycle that needs to end. So, Stu, do we have any comments that we need to address before we
No, the only one we have up is Freedom, where he said, this waste of our money is so depressing.
It's absolutely depressing.
It is.
Absolutely. So
it really is. But
the
accused the Trump administration of scapegoating immigrants. Yeah. And you're talking about them needing the immigrants. They were talking about Minnesota losing seats in the House because of the number of people that are being deported.
Correct. Oh yeah. That's the deal. That's why that whole deal with the census that happened, where Trump lost his bid to keep illegals out of the census. That was such a boon for Democrats.
Yeah,
because they get more seats and more seats and more seats, and you start sending them back. California's going to they're all going to lose, and they cannot win. They cannot win. So
again, they're looking at 350,000 Haitians. Where are they? Where are they primarily?
They need to go. A lot of them are in Florida and Ohio, but they need to go. So one quick note, as far as the show is concerned, we are working on getting several potential congressmen and senators on the show at some stage here. I don't have a date right now, but it's going to be happening fairly soon. The first one, anyways. And these are people that we like that we're bringing on, by the way. So keep your eye out for these interviews. And also, thank you for being a patriot more than anything else. Thank you for being a patriot. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for taking part in the show. Thank you for bringing knowledge to us and to others. Okay, we need to keep this fight up. The midterms are going to be so important, folks. If we don't win the midterms, we're down to I think a 1-seat advantage in the House right now, thanks to turncoat Republicans, right? If we don't win the Senate and the House, we are in big, big, big trouble. Everything that Trump is doing is going to be reversed. All of this is going to stop, right? These immigrants will be allowed to stay. These illegal immigrants, we can't have them. We need to fix our country. Our country's $38 trillion in debt. We're coming back, but we need to get all of these roadblocks out of the way, and we can't do it if we don't win the midterms. The midterms are important. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you for being engaged. Thank you for spreading the word. Thank you for educating people, including us, right? We'll see you next week. Live in freedom every day. Stu, do you have anything you want to say to finish this out?
No, we just appreciate everyone for showing up, spending your Tuesday with us. Spread the word, send links to your friends. Help us help you. Spread the word, get more people here. The more people we can reach, the more, the more we can spread the word and get these stories out. Not everybody has the time to read as much, to stay up to speed as much, although you guys do a damn fine job of it.
Absolutely.
But the more people we can reach, the more people we can get these stories in front of and get them to understand and realize what is being intentionally done to this country, the more people we have to help us fight the good fight. All right, guys, live in freedom every day. We'll see you next time. Thank you.